What's up, y'all? It's just Rhonda. Welcome to the channel. I hope everybody is having a Sunday fun day. It's Sunday and everything. So, Sunday supposed to be fun until it's time for you to go back to work on Monday. I don't work on Mondays. So, I guess I work. I work for y'all. I'll be here tomorrow to talk about Real Housewives of Potomac. But other than that, yeah, I won't be behind the chair tomorrow. I'm saying that. Anyway, did y'all enjoy the episode? I thought it was kind of dope. Y'all like the video, subscribe to the channel. It is season 11, episode 5. What did they call it? Soul Train Soulmates. Soulmates. Can somebody please explain what that means? What is a soulmate even? I feel like in my big old age, it's not something I've ever experienced. So I don't know if there's any soulmates over here, but a soulmate is something that I've never encountered in my lifetime. And based on the way Father Time is rolling up over here, I guess a soulmate is not something I'll experience in this lifetime. Anyway, are y'all experiencing soulmates? Explain to me what the hell that even means. Anyway, Tommy had the people over here at Aretha Franklin's house. Now, Tommy, why you just take the guys? I'm expecting next week for there to be a good place, location for you to meet up with the ladies, because this was a fun experience. And I feel like, I've experienced Disney and all the things that are theme parks, but there's a lot of things I think sometimes when you live in the city, you don't experience. Yeah, so that's a dope thing. They all live in Detroit and seemingly had not been there. I don't know if this is a new thing. I know when I go home, I'm definitely gonna put that on my list of things to do, to go tour Aretha Franklin's house if that's what they're doing with it. Darius, where's Darius and the rest of the boys? I'm gonna call them boys, young men, they grown. Anyway, about this coat, Darius. That orange is a lot. And I'm guessing it's because you're 40. And so the expectation is maybe a little bit more maturity. I don't know. What is the weather even like? Why is there a fur on everything, Darius? You don't need a fur on everything. You know what, Darius, you need to go ahead and go next on Project Runway. The people said you're an actor, you're a designer, you're a lounge owner, you're a photographer, you're a butcher, you're a baker, you're a candlestick maker. Why don't you go over there to Project Runway? It wasn't very good this past season, but yeah, maybe we can see what's up with your skills. Did you sew the fur? Do you go sew the fur collar on all your things, or did you make the whole jacket? I would like to hear more. When Darius gets out on this interview circuit, I would like to hear more about his fashion design, lifestyle, what it's doing with it. You know what I'm saying? Because I live in that world and it's not very easy. It's incredibly hard. You know what I'm saying? And so I don't know. What do you guys think, fellas? I don't see nobody rocking no furs. Have y'all looked in Darius's costume closet where he has his menswear designs? Anyway, Tommy said he's throwing the 70s dance party, and the guys are supposed to go back and tell the ladies about the dance party. They went in and experienced the like I said, Aretha Franklin's house. It was really cool. It was especially cool for Chris. I'm concerned about you. What was happening over there next to that lovely stove? Now, it's one thing to be freaky, Chris, but you can be freaky in Aretha Franklin's kitchen with her stove all by yourself. Tell me more about what was happening over there, but keep it to yourself at the same damn time. So the 70s mixer, we get right into it. And like I said, I'm really enjoying how they're showcasing Detroit. I hear a lot of criticism. I don't know, why the expectation is for people to come over here and find love in real life. So, after 11 seasons, we have to figure out how to make each cast, I think, unique. And over here in Detroit, there seems to be a lot of events. Can we go over to Bravo's place Tommy, before the season is over, I want to go over to Bravo's place. Can y'all go party at Bravo's or something? I want to see what Bravo's place looks like. For real, for real. Anyway, let's talk about these looks. Um, Listen, if you're not on the list, it's not because y'all came dressed as 70s. It's cool, but these particular looks stood out to me because they were kind of channeling Motown. I believe that was the instructions. Channel Motown over here in the 70s. And so some people did that. Some people just threw an afro on and called it, 70s. And it's cool because not everybody's a creative, but there are a lot of creatives over here. I'm going to start with this one. You got your boy Cardi. It's interesting to me. Sorry, Cardi. I cropped you in and it's a little offensive, but you know what it was. He was giving Rick James vibes with the orange hair because that's what he's doing. Um, it's interesting to me how Cardi is maneuvering his way through this process, being so positively spoken about positively. The old lady's only been saying positive things about Cardi, but seems to have a connection with no one. And if there is a connection with someone, we don't really know what it is. Dominique, I don't think so. I don't know why my dog is dancing around. It seems like they like to get him very much amped as soon as I go live. All I hear is his big old paws dancing around by the door over here. Anyway, Cardi. Cardi showed up as Rick James. I'm going to go ahead and say I was feeling it. Donna. Donna was giving me Irene Cara, Dream Girls. You know what I'm saying? She, it was a look. She looked very pretty. Um, yeah, Donna in this blue, she looked this was a stunning look for you, Donna. I think you should do this more in your life. Oh, I don't know that you could walk around in sparkly ball gowns, but I thought Donna looked good. And yeah, she was giving me Irene Cara vibes. Let me just say this one. Ciao. Darius came as Darius. Is it 70s? Yeah, it's giving very much Huggy Bear from Starsky and Hutch. It's giving very much Superfly. You know what I'm saying? So, but he just seems to always be dressed Superfly. So Darius came as Darius. Was he born in the 70s? No, but he was inspired by the damn 70s. If his mother was a fashion girl, then I can imagine, how she was tearing it up around there, have, the all the best of the 70s stuff. Because this man's closet, he came already prepared with clothes of his own. Darius, that's quite the character, if I don't say so myself. Who else? Ashante was given "Tell Me Something Good." It's the jumpsuit and the cleavage of it all, and that curly wig. I have two criticisms of Ashante and of Lauren. The wig needed to be bigger, thicker, fuller. You know what I'm saying? The afros was afroing. I made my hair into an afro. My daughter told me it was boneless. I haven't gotten over it. Who has a boneless afro? Me. Let me see. I brought up Lauren. Lauren is giving Diana Ross vibes. I'm getting where you're going. You know what I'm saying? And she definitely has Diana Ross energy, but the hair needed to be more hair, bigger. Diana Ross's hair be hair ring. Who else had a standout look? This one right here. This girl right here is something else. She was given definitely Tammy Terrell. You're all I need to get by with that big hump in her wig. Uh-huh. I wasn't mad at it. I don't know that her dress was very 70s, but her energy, that wig was enough. Her makeup is, she's a pretty lady. She told us that she was pretty when she got here. She did not lie. Did I forget to put it up here? Let's see. Because she definitely needs to be up here. Here she go, child. Bringing it on home, you got Foxy Brown. Now, see how the wig is wigging? All the fullness that was supposed to be fullness was happening here. She had the, signature Foxy Brown, Pam Grier, halter top, little fur, little something. It was all there, Dominique. It was all there. Her makeup is flawless. I love how the colors like really blend in with what she's wearing without, doing too damn much. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and give it to Dominique. If you want to say who was the star of the 70s party, it was Dominique. She was giving all the energy. She gives Pam Grier energy anyway, I think. So, yeah, this was right up the alley for her. All right, child. So, the couples of it all. This was a cool party. It seems like these people all get along. Everybody was mixing it up, having a good time, conversation over here. Everybody was working the room. They work in the room because at the end of this party, somebody got to go home. So that's how that went. Nicole was sitting having a conversation with Ed, and I want this to stop. I don't know what's happening here. What's up, Elsie? She say hit the like button. She popping in. Yeah, Nicole and Ed, it's almost as if they're on the same bullshit. You know what I'm saying? But I don't really think they're feeling each other. Um, Nicole can't get past this giddy. I don't know. She looked at this man and was like, if somebody would have asked me about you, I would tell him, I don't know, you're fine. Why are you telling this man he's fine? I think he knows. He gives me the energy that he knows he's fine. And I don't think there's anything wrong with telling a man he's fine, but can you wait until he say the same thing to you? Now, if he has, we haven't heard her or I don't remember it. I don't think he's feeling her. And I think if I were him, I probably wouldn't, because when you're with somebody that's this much like a fan and so giggly and giddy, it's hard to get to like relax, little girl. You know what I'm saying? She's had this crush her whole entire life, and it's finally come and let it go. Do something else. I think her and Devon have that in common. Um, You really should be over here focusing on what's real life. It is not your real life. You ain't never been able to keep up with him in the past, and it's not about to start happening now. So, pull yourself together, girl. Vince and Donna, are they up here? Oh, they didn't. Yeah, there they are. Vince and Donna, they got a little thing going on. I did not know this was happening. They're talking every day. She likes his sense of humor. They was over there playing, bounced your spectacles. He don't even know where to find them. Um, I feel like talking, communicating, what's his name? Xavier went home because he was not calling anyway. The only way to build a connection with someone is to talk to them. You can't wait until you get to the mixers. By the time you get to the mixer, you should be looking forward to talking to the person that you've been talking to, whether it be text or conversation. She thinks he's funny. These other ladies want to slap on him or he's getting on their nerves, but she likes his jokes. So nothing like having a captive audience that thinks you're entertaining. They're making plans. He invited her. She said she work out, but she ain't been working out like she should consistently. And I can feel that. So I'm a Capricorn. I like to start things like I've already started. I don't be waiting for New Year's. I'm starting now. We got to get it. We start to get in this whole start fresh mode. You know what I'm saying? And because the birthday, the Capricorn begins the year and ends the year, you got to get your. I don't want to be at July trying to figure it out. I'm really trying to plan, most of the year out because, it's a revolution and we need to be prepared. We need to hunker down and get things in order. So that's what I'm working on. Anyway, these two feel like they have a genuine connection. I didn't really, but he said like in the very beginning, he told her something about the way she has some crazy eye contact. Well, they still in contact. So that's a good thing. Problem is Vince is kind of reckless the way he just talks about women. And the whole bitch thing is bothering me. He wouldn't have been my type, no doggone way. No offense, he's probably young enough to be my son, so that's not a thing. But I'm just saying the way he conversation that he had with Lauren, and not Lauren, but Shantae. He had a conversation with Shantae over there at the vegan cooking date, and it was condescending, and it made me feel away. And then the conversation that he had with Emily, I don't know, she wanted to slap his ass. So I don't know. Whatever this girl Donna is feeling, it's cool. Lauren, on the other hand, I don't think she should feel the same type of way. When the whole somebody said called one of the ladies a bitch, I halfway thought it was him, but I thought he's got a daughter. He probably wouldn't be saying something like that. So I was like, it was Chris. I was wrong. It's this man with a daughter, which is bothersome because, like, I just don't know, like, the type of man that would be out here casually calling women bitches. Now, we be calling niggas. So I don't know if that's like hypocritical at all. Maybe. Anyway, if Donna is interested in it, that's fine. I hope Lauren wasn't. Now, Lauren is like Cardi. Like, she's here, but I don't know who her real connections are. And if it was Vince, I hope that's no longer a thing because, girl, he apologized. He came over. He gave a heartfelt apology. I feel like it was genuine, and she accepted his apology. He even gave her, the grace to say, you don't have to accept it now. You know what I'm saying? But you can marinate on it, but I wanted to apologize to you publicly. And so I feel like, yeah, it was a great apology. She accepted his apology, but I don't feel like we can move forward to something more now because you called me out my name, and we can't change that. I ain't got to stay mad, but I can't move forward with that. So I don't know who her connections are. We know his connection is Donna. We have seen Lauren in conversations, but we haven't seen any like real conversations happening with her. I don't know if that's strategic or not. We don't even get to hear, like, when it comes to the tops and the bottoms, we don't really get to hear her say who her tops are. I don't remember that. And then, we don't necessarily get to see anybody say anything about her in the lounge. Hey, love, welcome to the chat. Did you enjoy this week's episode? Sway goddess. It's the goddess over here. Hey. What do you think? What do you think about Vince and his apology? Is it acceptable? I couldn't move forward. I couldn't keep going. That's that on that. So I'm interested to see, like, we're at episode 5. Next week is 6. I'm guessing that's somewhere halfway there. I want to start seeing who's connected for real. And, we've only got rid of one girl that I can remember. So now 2, but we won't get to find out for sure until next week which one it is. I know who I think it is. You think he could have kept that apology to himself? Honestly, I hope that he's out of here the next episode. I'm glad that they did that gold digger. Oh my goodness. I'm not gonna say he should have kept the apology because I think he should have apologized, point blank and period. He couldn't just let it ride. But as far as being interested in him, like, no. But I would have said that before because I feel like his conversations are a little combative and dismissive. Not so much to Donna, but he likes her. But I would like to be with a man that treats people nicely across the board, not just certain people. And based on the way we seen from the preview, Darius about to have to cuss his ass out at some point. That must be coming. Is that gonna be in the next episode? I'm dying to know what that's about, child. Speaking of Darius, him and Ashanti been talking. So Ashante, him and Ashante been talking. Darius gets around now. This is the thing. Ashante came in here and she was having a hard time figuring out who she wanted to be bothered with. And I understand that completely. It's not easy to fake feelings when you're dealing with this type of situation. Now, Steven and her got a real connection, and I feel like her and Darius, maybe not a real connection, but they have a connection. You find your people, you find who you want to hang out with and talk to and stuff. Um, so yeah, Darius, he's quite the talker now, and isn't he? Let's see. You said you think the only reason why he apologizes is because they told him he never said anything. He wasn't going to come. Hold on. Oh yeah, he wasn't going to come to her and say, "You're right." I feel like you're right. He was not going to come say sorry but I mean, sometimes people need to have things pointed out to them. You know what I mean? Like, he needed to be called out. He thought he was in the safety of the bros, and one of the bros was over there pillow talking with Christina Ina, who to me seems like the type of person who probably wouldn't keep her mouth shut. Uh-oh, what happened? Why is my computer adding things that I didn't ask it to add? Child. In the middle of a live too. I don't think it was genuine. I do think Dominique don't have any names down, but the African guy, I think he's a good match, definitely. Um, this is the thing, like, you're only probably gonna really like one person. You know what I'm saying? You come over there and you hope that there's one person that you can at least connect with, but you have to have like other people like on your roster. You need to have a roster. I don't think Dominique has to do much because it seems as though they're like over here, like pining away for her, except for, people like Vince, who knows that that ain't what he's here for. He ain't gonna be able to do any of that. Um, it's funny because Christina Ina is the one over here talking about how people got to pay for her things. And I'm gonna need you to show me with your wallet, you know what I'm saying, how you care about me. Dominique has not said any of that. She ain't asked for nothing. She did not, she's getting this like, oh, just because she was, married to an athlete and dated an athlete, she ain't come over here and said none of that. She's just came over here and be charming and gets to know people. And I think it's genuine. I think she genuinely like, she's a Pisces. She probably just likes people because they're nice and that kind of thing. Dom, what's his name? Bello is the only one that she seems to have a genuine connection with. But yeah, Dominique ain't asked y'all for nothing. You thought he said it to one of the women? No, he did not. That's why he said it. The guys were talking, and we haven't heard like exactly what was said, but it was to the effect of, y'all gonna put me with tall bitch because I'm tall. And then there was more to the conversation that we weren't privy to. But then whoever was pillow talking with Christina Ina went over there and told her what his version of the story was. We don't know that part. And then Christina Ina came over here to the ladies' lounge saying, this one guy is in the group calling women bitches. So he did say bitch. And I don't like that. But it wasn't like how Miss Christina Ina tried to make it sound like it was. She was over here, telephone, you know how that works. By the time it gets to the person, you know what I'm saying? And I feel like Lauren and Vince must have had some type of communication because she seemed very shocked to find out that, what she thought was somebody that was being nice to her was over here, calling her out of her name. So I don't like the fact that he refers to women as bitches, but he was having conversation with the guys, not to any of the women. You said, I know I hate that's what about the show because they keep stuff in and behind closed doors, when really I think what we really like is the love story and see like what's kind of happening and growing between people. So yeah, so and then when Christina brought this out, this whole information, Donna seemed shocked. Like, what? Now I see why she is shocked, because this is the guy she's been talking to. She's probably surprised to hear that he would say something like that. And so, yeah, I'm glad he apologized. He said he put her in a position to be embarrassed, and he said he's embarrassed. He should be, because now we all know that that's how you speak. So hopefully, you'll take that into consideration and take the word bitches out of your vocabulary, because it's not a good look. What else happened over here? Darius and Ashante, they have a little something going on, in my opinion. Like, I don't think he's the one for her, but clearly Darius has some type of swag that the ladies are interested in. Darius be doing a lot of talking without saying nothing. Now I'm listening to these conversations that people are having, and real things are being said. You know what I'm saying? Just about everyone except Darius. Darius is over here like, I like your eyes. It brings out the magic in my motion. He over here saying, he talking shit. And it's fine, because you need, I think it's easy. You could go over there and talk shit with Darius. He probably smells good. He's going to be easy to lean up against. If it's cold outside, he got a fur. So he's good to have around. I feel like he's the kind of guy that's very chivalrous to things, So it's something to be said about having somebody treat you nice too. I just think that's just what he does. I don't see him being serious with anyone, Darius. I feel like Donna dropped the ball with that one. All she had to do was flirt with Darius, and he was going to say nice things. I don't think he's out here really trying to say nothing bad about these ladies. He's a charmer. Chris and Christina Ina sat down for a minute. He has no clue that this lady was over here asking everyone for massage money. And so I don't understand. Like, I do understand what she's saying to some extent. Just not in the way she says it. Like, first of all, you just met these guys. So I'm not sure why. I wouldn't be giving anybody anything. You know what I'm saying? Right out the gate like that. I don't think anybody should be asking for anything. Now, I also feel like if a man likes you, then he will absolutely spend on you. However he does it. Every guy is different. You know what I'm saying? So there's levels to this. And she's living this fancy life in her head where, what did she say? She said every man that she's ever dated has wanted to marry her. I call bullshit on that. I think every man that has dated her, it doesn't probably take long to figure out, like, what she got going on. They're saying she have an interesting conversation. I think she's probably entertaining to some extent. And, in a cuckoo crazy kind of way. Because she was given very much cuckoo crazy. Chris was like, oh, okay, so you asked everybody for that? Because I feel like, first of all, I feel like Chris could afford a $300 massage if he wanted to. I just also feel like he's like, I don't know this lady. She got me messed up. I don't work hard to be throwing my money around at people for no reason. What I really want to know is why Devon did it. Why Devon gave that lady money? And was he the one pillow talking? Shoot. Wait, what? Not at all, honestly. He looks like he got a little sugar in his tank, if you ask me. Who? I don't want to know. I don't want to know. Yeah, you threw me off with that one. Yeah, I feel like if a guy likes you, he gonna spend on you. And I feel like once people start liking each other, they spend on each other. Like, you'd be out, be like, oh, he'd probably like this. Let me give my boo this. Depending on how much money you working with, like living in certain tax brackets, some little gifts, like if Kim Kardashian went out, she might be like, I'm gonna get these Cartier shades. He'll like these. See what I'm saying? So, I think that's the lifestyle that this lady Christina Ina thinks she about to be living over here. But girl, you have zero game. The game has no game. I'm not even sure. She was giving maybe a little bit tipsy. I don't know why she's over here begging strangers for money, but it's not a good look. Um, Dominique has a sit down with Bello. Every time Dominique and Bello sit down, it feels like they get a little bit closer and a little bit closer. They have real conversations. Dominique and Bello have real conversation. I feel like Chris and Nicole have real conversation. I'm just not sure. Like, I'm not sure what's going on with Nicole, to be honest. Devon and what's her name, Shannon, have real conversation. Everybody has real conversations except Darius, who just be sitting over. Unless all these real conversations are being had over the phone, I don't hear him saying nothing except for flirting and having the girls giggling. This one over here, Bello and Monique were having a conversation. She had a little, how come I'm the last person you talked to? They had a little moment. It didn't last long. He said, I seen everywhere you were. That was cute. He was like, you was right there with Cardi. You was over here with Darius. Like, he seen where she was and he let her know, I seen you. So that was very cute. And she's like, okay, we're done now. But she did bring up that I think he asked her something about her passion. I can't remember what the question was, but she's working on opening her store. And he right away went to, well, I'm in real estate. I'm in commercial real estate. How about I find the place? And I was like, now that's what's up. That's real conversation, if you ask me. And if it's not love, because y'all want love, but if it's not love, I think it's very dope to meet somebody in real estate. You know what I'm saying? That can help you find a place for your business. That commercial purchase is not the same thing. It's hard enough getting houses, but commercial purchases are different. Um, or rentals, you whatever the contracts are, it's just very different when you talk about commercial real estate. I think they're constantly breaking barriers and getting to know each other, in a real way. So, getting beyond the surface. He said, if we're not working on our dreams and our purpose, then what are we doing? And I said, now that's a good foundation. That's a healthy mindset, honestly, for entering into a relationship. I don't think we do enough of that. He kept his eye on her and he told her she couldn't even do nothing but giggle. That was very cute. That's how you do it. Bello doing the daggone thing over here. Um, Shannon and Devon. Shannon be mesmerizing these guys with her smile. She over here. Now, it's interesting because Devon likes Dominique. In my mind, like I said, Dominique is his fantasy girl. In his dreams, Pam Greer gonna come over here and give him some type of time. Now she's a nice lady, and he seems to be nice. I'm sure he has good conversation because he's smart. He just be saying stupid stuff to her like "I want you" and trying to kiss her without permission. Shannon, I think, is definitely his speed. I think he really likes her. My only concern, like I like the Shannon and Devon connection. However, every time I look at him, I think about him giving that lady money, and I'm like, what is Devon out here tricking like that? Is that like I just want to know, like, what was your motivation for that, child? You over here with a real connection, and anyway, I'm guessing maybe does she know? I want to hear what these girls, when they find out, because what's the next? Well, she knows because because we know. Oh, girl, Christina Ina said it in the ladies lounge. So yeah, I'd be curious to know what she feels about that. Anyway, but they seem to have a great connection. They're talking about going to Pilates together, and she said that she felt like most men would think of that as too feminine. He said he's very secure in his sexuality. Um, Ashley was over here saying he was a little too feminine for her. I don't necessarily see the feminine. Now, I will say the pink velour shirt from over at Dominique's house threw me off just a little bit, but I thought that was more bad taste than anything else. Um, Lauren, didn't this man say he was not gonna spin around for you? He was over on the Access Lounge talking about he would not spin around. He won't spin around, but he'll do Pilates. So she gonna get him over there stretched out on that Pilates machine, and he said he's not scared to go do it. Ooh, it's thundering outside. Moving along. Did y'all notice like he told her that she was beautiful or something? He's captivated or caught up in her beauty, and however, whatever line he ran over there. And she came out of her mouth with this, oh my God, wow, I've never heard that before. I was like, do you talk to Ed like that? Because Ed likes Shannon a lot too. I feel like that's his favorite, Shannon. So you got Ed and Devon competing for the same woman, Shannon. And then who likes Nicole? Chris and Nicole. They like each other. I'm trying to see like who is Ed's competition over here. Y'all, they sleeping on Cardi because Cardi, all the ladies like Cardi. I don't know. I can't be seen nowhere with Cardi in that hair. It's too much. Real quick, Ashanti got Steven over there stuttering. She makes him nervous, and I think that's very cute. And it's nervous in a cute way, where he's trying to figure out how to put his words together. That's how you do when you like somebody. So I mean, I feel like we got a few connections over here, if we're gonna be honest. Now, love, I don't know. Soulmates, yeah, y'all let me know what that's all about. But it seems like we got few people that like each other over here. Child, Christina Ina, she decided she was going to confront Vince about this whole B word thing. And I'm like, why? You were the one that ran your mouth. And he was pretty much saying, how come you just didn't say, ask me? You know what I'm saying? Which is what she should have done. If she was going to run her mouth, she should have asked him about it or stayed out of it or told Lauren. I think there's two ways to do this. You should ask him what he said. So when you tell Lauren, you have a very accurate, allegedly, version of what happened. You went third party. You went through whoever was pillow talking with you. Child. Y'all don't even know each other well enough to be pillow talking. That means somebody is just gossipy. Somebody just like to run their mouth. Whose hair? Oh, Cardi's hair is doing too much. It's doing too much. I don't like it. What else, child? I don't know. I just feel like there was a better way for her to handle that. So the way she handled it makes her look shady for both of them, really. I don't know that she was talking to this man. She gave him a whole spiel about how she looking for a man to take care of her the way. If you can't take care of me the way my daddy took care of my mama for 39 years, you can't have any of this. I was like, what's she been drinking? Because there's a lot going on. She had this man literally was like, all right then, because Vince is usually kind of combative when he gets in a conversation. He asked her a question like, how soon are we supposed to be, you figuring out like, what is your expectation? When are we supposed to be getting gifts and things, taking care of you? Child. He went literally running. He said, okay, all right then, we're not compatible. And he ran away from her with his nachos in tow. I was like, I don't blame you. I feel like, once you realize somebody is on the tipsy train, I'm going to give her that because hopefully that's just not how she regular is. So I'm going to say she may have had a little bit too much to drink. And there's no sense in arguing or trying to make sense with somebody who's, under the influence. So let me see. Yes, she didn't know if it was true or not. She just ran off and told, sometimes I think girls be saying stuff to make it seem like they're in a better position than you. You know what I mean? I don't know what that was all about, because she sat up here and confronted this man talking about you called her friend a bitch. You know that lady is not your friend. You just met her the other day. Now she's your friend. And if she was a friend, then you would have hit her up and said, I don't know, I'm gonna call Vince. Like I said, get the story straight first. Vince is the person that she should have went to first. She should have absolutely told Lauren, but she should have at least got the story straight. She wasn't caring. She was just trying to be messy. Messy and tipsy. And insecure. And I told you, I feel like when women are very insecure, not just women, people, because it works exactly the same with men. When people are very insecure, it translates into something that's not good. You know what I mean? They take things too far, where feelings get hurt and people get cussed out and relationships, get damaged. And so you have to be careful about people that are insecure, because they be working from a very shady direction. Um, yeah. This got the hell out of there. So there's that. Darius and Ashley. Darius wants an extraordinary woman because he's an extraordinary man. And he said Ashley makes him feel all fluttery inside. She's like, how do you know, like, when you've met this person? And he said, because the way you feel all fluttery inside. And she's like, well, when have you ever felt that before? I'm feeling it right now. But see, that's the stuff I'm talking about that he be saying. He said they be on the phone for 4 hours, going to sleep on the phone, waking up on the phone. So you don't go to work. Y'all just be on the phone all the daggone time. Darius and Devon be on the phone talking to everyone. Seems like for hours. They got Devon got Nicole in the morning and what's her name, Shannon in the afternoon, and he be trying to squeeze Dominique in there whenever he can, because that's his boo. Child. Darius, them D's. Everybody whose name starts with a D, come to the front. We got questions. I don't know. Ashley came in here saying that you need to have money to date her. So he's looking like money. I just hope it's a real deal. You know what I'm saying? She definitely says she liked Cardi and his conversation. But Cardi, I'm not saying he doesn't have money, because you don't know what these people got. But he's in the insurance business. And so I don't know if that's exciting enough for her. They pinky swear that they're locked in with each other. She said he's a little bit too flirty with the other women. Which one? He said Dom and Ashante. I have to remember the accent. It's just easy because, oh baby. Anyway, they do this pinky swear thing, and then she went in. Now, I'm not really sure what I saw when it came to that kiss. Did she go in for the kiss and he wasn't aware, and then she pushed back? Like, there was a moment where she went in for a kiss. And then they pinky swear that they're locked in. So they're locked in. That means what, Darius? You've told this lady that you're locked in. So then that should cut out Dom and Ashante, I'm guessing. I don't know how that's going to work out. Anyway, I feel like, this young lady doesn't have any children, and he's got adult children. You say, but I do like the fact that they're on the phone at least. Yes, he's getting to know her. He just be doing a whole lot of smooth talking. And I don't think she's, I think she's a smart girl. She's got her own business. You know what I'm saying? She's boss all by herself. She's just so young. And 40 is not old, but he got grown children and older teenage children. He's got 4 of them. You know what I'm saying? Children, like, that's they have needs right now. You got college coming up and all kinds of things and time that, that the older kids are different from the littler kids. So I think they're definitely more of a financial, because like I said, you don't know who's going to college. You got to figure out like what their plan is after high school, and just the senior year and all the things and events and stuff, it's a lot going on. And then to have this young girlfriend who doesn't have any children, now you're finna make new babies. And it seems like he's here for it. I'm just saying, it seems like a lot. I never, anyway, they like each other. So there's that. She says she has the wall up because the guys that she's been with don't follow up with what they're saying. And I'm like, do you have a type, Ashley? Because I want to see Darius follow up on some of the things that he's saying. Right now, he's talking a good game, She went in for it and it caught him off guard. I was like, I don't think he swerved her. I think he would have, he wasn't paying attention. It was a little awkward thing and she pulled back on it. But, I don't think it was a swerve by any means. I think had he known what was about to happen, he would have went in for it. Yeah, I just want to see more from Darius than all that smooth talking. He dressed like Superfly. He act like Superfly too. Ed and Donna. I wish Donna wouldn't have had this conversation with Ed. I think it was a waste of her time. Donna, you and Ed are not a thing. She says she feels misunderstood based on the whole religion, conversation. At some point, the word atheist has come up, and if that's what he said, that's what he said. I feel like, Donna, you have Vince, and you need to work on. You don't have Darius, not no more, because you decided to walk over there and tell that man how he was jive, and nobody wants him, which is not true. And then I don't know why Devon is saying you don't have time. I think it's him that doesn't have time because he's already got too many women on the phone. But I do feel like Donna is being, I think she's being unfairly judged based on, the whole spiritual thing, because I don't believe for a minute that any of these guys over here are that religious. You know what I'm saying? I could see if it was coming from a place of churchmen. You know what I'm saying? I don't think that's the case. I don't think they're saying it's religion. If you don't connect with her, that's one thing. But I think she's being unfairly judged on that. She's got the same ideal, I think, as a lot of people have. I won't say most, but a lot of people. You say, yeah, I agree, because I have grown kids with their own kids, and I wouldn't date someone who has minor kids. Man, no small babies. If the kids ain't grown, I don't want to talk about it. I have grandchildren now. Yeah. Anyway. Who were we talking about? Donna. Yeah, Donna wasted her time with this conversation. I don't think it was a conversation that needed to be had, because Ed already had his mind made up. Like, I think he liked her fine as a person, but I think based on how the whole conversation went on as it relates to spirituality, that y'all are not a connect. So you wasted time talking to him when you could have been talking to somebody else. But I don't think she has another connection here. So, which shouldn't work. She has a connection, so that shouldn't work against her. You know what I'm saying? Like, seems like they like each other. At the end of it all, Devon is the bearer of bad news, and he has to tell two of the ladies that they are up for elimination. So on the bottom, you got Donna and you got Christina Ina. And the guy said that Donna is very busy. And again, with this whole, they're concerned about her religion. I was like, she's not a Satan worshiper, for God's sakes. How many times have people come on these shows and said, I'm spiritual? I feel like I hear that all the time. All of a sudden they're acting like, oh my God, she's spiritual. I don't think nobody really feels Donna. She's probably going to be the next female to go home. Once you get into, like I said, we're episode 6 now. Once you get into episode 6, I don't think connections generally start happening. You know what I'm saying? I feel like people have set in on the people that they're going to communicate with. They might shift a little bit, But her connection is with Vince, though. She has a connection, but Christina Ina don't have any connections. Maybe in her head. I think there's some disconnections in her head. Maybe that's what's happening over here. Anyway, they left us on a cliffhanger. So we'll see next week, like, who goes home, and yeah, we'll see who's still connecting. We see Ashley having a conversation with Bello. He has a 1-year old. I already heard that. That's already been out in the streets. The streets be talking. Now, she didn't know, but that doesn't mean that Dom doesn't know. So he has a 1-year old. I don't know. And Lauren, she didn't have that information, but I'm guessing this is her first time. Like, Bello been locked in with Dominique. And so, yeah, like I said, just because y'all don't know, that doesn't mean he hasn't said it to her. I don't know, because they came out having conversations about surrogacy and parents and how he wants a boy. So if he hasn't had that conversation with Dom, that'd be juicy. That might really change, the terms. Next week is the men elimination. We guess, because sometimes they like to throw us a little curveball. But that's it, y'all. So yeah, Love and Marriage Detroit. I'll be back with y'all tomorrow with the Real Housewives of Potomac. Sometime tomorrow you'll get Love and Marriage Huntsville. I told you I'm not doing that live. It wasn't any better this week than it was last week. But we here now, so we're going to talk about it. Anyway, y'all, like the video, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you when I see you. Bye, y'all.